Hey, Parks, how's it going?
What's up, Stephen? Good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
Hey, I know that Matt is a really prideful guy, and he's played a lot, seen a lot. But this has been a challenging year for him, I'm sure, on a personal level. Just getting hit, turnovers, benched, back. How have you observed him kind of handle the twists and turns, and how has he tried to balance leading, but at the same time, sort of having to deal with his own challenges? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Stephen, good question. It's obviously been a difficult year for him and a lot of us. But I think just to how he's handled it, I think he's handled it, just like I think we've said a lot of times, is professional and is about as good as you can handle the situation and given. Obviously, he'd be the first one to tell you that there's a lot of areas that he wants to do better and play better. And we got to do some things around him to help him as well. And we all know that, we all embrace that. But as far as how he's handled the situation and how he's doing with it, I mean, again, just talked about his class and his professionalism, how he continues to come to work every day and balance that leadership aspect that we know that he brings, even while, things aren't, it's easy to lead when things are going well. When things are not going well, you really see what a guy's made of. And I think that he continues to show that. And that's why guys continue to believe in him and follow him and want him to do well.
Mike Chappell.
Yeah, Parks, after 12 or 13 games, whatever it is, you guys have been emphasizing, stressing ball security all season. I mean, that's obvious, yet it hasn't worked. What can you do over the last month to change what's been unchangeable?
Yeah, obvious, very frustrating. And it's been something that we've been good at here in the past. It's been something that we've prided ourselves in. We've been good at, but I think it comes down to, the habits, and, it's harped on and it's practice, but I think that you have to truly put an emphasis on protecting the football every single day in practice. And it has to be subconscious. You can't think about it in the game. If you're thinking about it on game day, it's too late. It's got to be something that's continued to just every single time you touch a football in practice, you're thinking about it, you're securing it. And that way, when you get out there and you're in the game, your mind takes over, and then it's just subconscious thought where you're protecting the ball. But it's obviously been a frustration. It's been in critical moments, and with something that we can't do. We have to turn that page and get back to how we protected the ball here in the past.
And maybe what's even more frustrating, it's not been, I realize Matt's got a lot of turnovers and all that, but it seems like it's a little bit of everybody. I mean, Mo's not been a fumbler, and he's got a positive play, and is it frustrating that it's been something different almost every time?
Yeah, very. I mean, and that's what makes it hard to, you stress it and we practice it, we preach it, and players care about it. I mean, every single guy in this building understands the importance of protecting the ball and securing the ball. They take pride in it. They want to protect the football, and it's been different people in different spots of the game. And a lot of times you even look at the ball security and the fundamentals of securing the ball are intact. It just sometimes it's just freak accidents that happen, and it feels like we've been spelled by that. But at the same time, you got to continue to preach it. You got to continue to practice it, continue to find ways to get better in it. And, that's what we're going to try to do for the last 4 weeks is get back to what we know we can do when it comes to ball security, because that's what you have to do to win. We understand that to be successful, to win games, you got to protect the football. When we do it, we give ourselves a chance. When we don't, we don't. And so that's what we're going to do.
Thanks, Parks.
Yep.
Bill Erickson.
Parks, do you guys feel like kind of since JT came back the second time that the running game has had a little bit more success? Is that something you guys looked at and felt like you guys have done a little bit better over the last 4 or 5 weeks? I can't remember exactly how long it's been.
Yeah, definitely felt like we've had more momentum in the run game, which ultimately is obviously what we want to pride ourselves on, what we want to find our identity in. I felt like we've had a little bit more momentum, especially here and there in certain games. Definitely think there's places where we can still get better. But I think that since, like you said, since he's come back that second time, we've made some improvements in some certain areas that we needed to. And feel good about the trajectory of where we're going with that. Want to continue to do that throughout the last 4 weeks, but definitely feel good about where we're at.
What were the areas that you felt like you guys need to make some improvements in?
Yeah, I just think, just a lot of it fundamentals of, keeping things simple, like we talked about, as kind of we made a lot of these transitions, keeping things simple in the run game where guys know where they're going, how to execute. And then obviously getting the vertical push inside has been critical. We've done that in a lot of areas, still some places we got to do better. But do feel like we've had some push inside where guys have gotten back to their fundamentals of pad level and fundamental and technique. And that's been something that's been better. And then obviously having JT back, and he's looked the best that he's looked all year as well. That's definitely been a key as well.
Go a couple more here. Zach Kiefer.
Hey, Parks, where's Alec Pierce at? He had, I think it was 4 games with 4 total catches, and then he had a big game in Dallas. And there's a lot of things that go into it. You got to protect to get him going down the field. But from your perspective, where's he at 12, 13 games into his?
Yeah, I mean, we think he's progressing nicely. We really do. We think that he gives us a vertical threat that we obviously need. I think that that's something that's huge to take pressure off of run game and other areas of your pass game that we need. I think that he definitely gives us that, as well as some other things that he can do. Think that he's still got a lot of areas that he can and is going to improve, and a lot of that is expanding his route tree and doing different things with him that we know that he can do. And some of that comes down to, we got a lot of guys that we feel like can do certain things that we want to get the ball. Obviously you got Pitt, you got Alec Pierce is having a great year. Ashton has come in and done some really good things. We got Jelani and Kylan that have their skill sets. And you mentioned Mo. We got a lot of guys. And then obviously I just talked about our identity is in the run game. So you got a lot of areas you want to try to spread the ball around and emphasize what guys do well. And Alec has really done a nice job of showing the things that he can do well. We want to continue to emphasize those things while also expanding his role, because I think he's earned that. But he's in a good place. Really want to continue to develop his fundamentals, and Reggie does a great job with that. But feel like he's in a good place and really happy with what he has and can continue to do for us.
The last one here, Nate Atkins.
Hey, Parks, just a couple weeks ago, Jelani Woods had the big game against the Steelers, and then, just didn't play as much against the Cowboys. And Jeff mentioned that was just sort of game plan specific, how the game was going. But from your perspective, when it comes to offensive game planning, what's the balance, I guess, in maybe building off of a young player's, big performance like that versus, doing the things you need to do that specific week to win?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. Obviously, you look at schematically, how can you take advantage of defenses, and then, almost a lot of times in a bigger way, how can we emphasize our players, what they do well, and continue to build momentum on when they have good games. And that's something that obviously Jelani had a huge game against Pittsburgh. Came into the game against Dallas. We used a little bit of tempo, and when you use tempo, it's harder to get subs in at times. And so it kind of based on who's in when you hit big plays or when you kind of get on the ball. That can change snap counts a little bit. We had some stuff for him early that just based on what they played, the ball that wasn't able to go to him. And obviously he's a guy that we want to find ways to get the ball, because we know what he can do for us. We know he's explosive, and we want to continue to do that. But definitely think that it's a huge part of, building momentum on a player when he's got some positive things going, and definitely want to continue to do that down the stretch here in the last 4 weeks.